Good afternoon, esteemed traders and investors. Today is Friday, May 22nd. I present to your attention another market review for InstaForex. As always, I'm glad to be here with you today. We'll discuss this with you on the chart, so let's get started. So, let's quickly go over the news. Today, among the important news, we have Germany's GDP, and basically everything else concerns the dollar. Yesterday, all the news was released. If we update the chart, we can see that the news came out rather weak, but overall, that's the situation. Yesterday, the dollar naturally experienced a weakening on this news, and now we are currently anticipating a third wave from this movement. Let's go. So let's start with gold quotes, which saw quite a bit of movement yesterday. And in fact, we have several trading ideas. The first one, which I mentioned yesterday, is long initiatives and a move towards the area of the Asian and American sessions from the day before yesterday. This scenario played out on the news the day before yesterday. And yesterday, we tested the long zone with Loma. Those who bought from there are currently in profit, but there was also a small three-wave structure within the day. On the 1-minute time frame, well, not with you, but with the guys, we caught it in the closed chat. The three-wave move worked out very well, but this current bullish impulse may also possibly generate a three-wave structure, which is actively developing at this very moment. Wave C is already forming, which could potentially drive the market quotes significantly higher above the high of yesterday's American session, as well as above yesterday's daily high. And if market conditions remain favorable for us, it might even surpass the peak of the entire trading week. As long as this bullish trend remains unbroken, we're staying long. This remains relevant as far as the euro-US dollar pair is concerned. Also, yesterday's long initiative that took place on the instrument weakened the US dollar. Right now, the instrument has pulled back exactly into the area of the first long break from above. There's a range between yesterday's highs, and the instrument could very well close this third wave and the trading week today. It would certainly be interesting to see this situation play out as a pin bar. In that case, there will be an inside bar here, and from it, a long correction could occur. Either the continuation of the long trend or a long correction that this movement will drive the market quotations upward to levels that are more suitable for a potential decline. Already, let's say, at the semi-annual extremes of 1.13857.
Looking for real trading advantages? InstaForex offers the lowest spreads and commissions. On major currency pairs, our conditions are better. Lower spreads and only $5 commission instead of $7. That's real savings for every trader. And now, let's get back to the market review.
The pound-dollar pair is reflecting this exact same price action. The euro also went through a test of the long break today and provided a clear technical entry signal. In this regard, the pound should also update the previous peak resistance levels of the American session from yesterday and the day before, which I truly hope will happen soon. That would also make for a good inside bar. For the continuation of growth next week, the US dollar to Canadian dollar is rising and the zones for selling are higher up. So for now, we are not touching it here. The dollar-yen has stopped and is standing in the short break zone. But for selling, of course, slightly higher prices would be more relevant.
I also want to remind you that every InstaForex client automatically receives loss insurance. For every $1 of compensation, only $4 of your friend's investments are required. Just submit a request, and your losses will be recovered. Let's continue with the review.
As for the oil market, it experienced a decline yesterday and broke through its previous bullish trend line. We now have a short-term breakout zone established from yesterday's session, from which we can look for selling opportunities today. If there is a retest of this specific zone, then accordingly, this kind of scenario can be quite expected. For this instrument, Bitcoin is in a range, and we are waiting for a test of the short break for selling. That hasn't happened yet, so at this point, the instrument is currently not of any interest to us. Yesterday's weakening of the US dollar led to the instrument climbing significantly higher. Let me remind you, the weaker the dollar, the higher the quotes of the American stock market go. And yesterday, by the way, the same thing happened with gold and with the euro dollar. The initiative was in America, a long impulse, then a precise pullback into the long breakdown zone. If you were ready to risk 3,000 points, you would already have 5.5 by now. I think that's not all. These are all impulses that have occurred. And the day before yesterday, there was also a long impulse that broke the short trend on the 15-minute chart. This impulse and pullback, those who were ready to risk at the end of yesterday with 3,000 would now already have 8. It repeated my breakdown, and it's quite an interesting thing. On the futures, everything is copied almost exactly, though maybe not as technically, but yesterday was very technical, and in general, I think that a new all-time high for this instrument is not far off.
With InstaForex, you can triple your profit. For every $4 of your friend's investments, you automatically get an extra $1 added to your profit, with no extra conditions.
Dollar franc. The weakening of the US dollar won't benefit this instrument, but the overall trend towards strengthening hasn't gone anywhere. Accordingly, the deeper the pullback of the instrument, the more interesting it will be to buy for the long term, at least up to the 0.8 level. As for our cross pairs, the sluggishness of the Canadian franc isn't of interest for years to come, at least until it reaches its target, AUD. The trading week also closes not with a shaky or wolf price, but with a pin bar. In a long trend, which is not very good for sales of course, it would be done before the 0.99-800 move. The number 1 is a psychological mark. Major players may be there. Netherlander franc is interested in the year's lower levels. Let's not touch it yet. The Australian New Zealander got a bit down by the end of the week. It's clear that it's very hard for this instrument to grow. I'm hoping for short corrections. Euro Audi, if you haven't taken longs, then below 1.5970, a grid of limit buy orders.
We also have a great offer. Fund your account and get a 30% tradable bonus. Trade with additional capital and expand your opportunities with InstaForex.
And euro, Canadian dollar, is trying to recover, but here again, if we consider grids, the instrument is stuck in a range, so we need to wait until it really moves a good distance or rewrites the high. Either start building a grid of limit buy orders, or from the year's low, a grid of limit buys. From below, sells, and from above, as you requested, sell limits. It's worth setting up sell limits when it's already in the range, while it's pulling back, but for selling, we need higher prices. The week is closing neither here nor there, just an unimpressive bar, nothing special, but selling in this zone isn't really the right move either. So the stop will be large, that's why we wait for better prices. Friends, InstaForex offers a free consultation with a personal trading consultant. Follow the link in the video description, fill out the callback form, and gain access to exclusive offers and special trading conditions. BRT plus for risk-free trading. That's all. Trade with InstaForex, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for new reviews.